Hello, I'm James Kelly, creator of the Miracle Choice game. It's been almost a month since I did any blogs or did any recordings, and it's kind of been a month of up and downs. I've been ill for about half that month, and that's okay, except when I was ill, I kept forgetting that I can look inside and see health in any moment, and I got a little bit sometimes caught up in the miserableness of being ill. But now I realize that the gift is to be ill is fine, and also to realize I'm healthy at the same time, that I can experience both things simultaneously. But there's been a beautiful highlights during the last month where I met with people who came from Brazil, facilitators of the Miracle Choice game. We had a beautiful encounter here in Scotland. And really, what was beautiful about that was just gathering together with people who you have something in common with, but also something new arises in that moment because you're bringing a self and joining with other selves in a beautiful way, almost doing that without boundaries. And I'm discovering that's a beautiful gift for myself and for other people. And so I really appreciate that the Miracle Choice community's got to the extent now that we can meet, whether it's physically or online, and really enjoy each other's company to the extent that we're inspired and that we nourish each other, that something new is created. And that was a wonderful opportunity to do that. But I think during the last month, what's restricted me from sitting in front of a camera or writing very much really is this idea of being perfect and trying hard and striving to achieve or being good. And I'm noticing how utterly restrictive that is compared to obviously being in the moment. And being in the moment isn't something that you're striving to do. It isn't something that you're trying to achieve. It isn't a goal. And I notice now that the ideal self is still there, wanting to be somewhere else rather than where I am right now. So I could even take that within the business Miracle Choice, looking at that and going, well, things should be better, should be further on, more people should be involved, there should be a lot more things in place than there is, blah, blah, blah. And of course, that's just full of not being present in the moment. And I love the imperfection of being present in the moment because it's not totally sorted in the moment. But to really be at peace with something that's not perfect is quite difficult for me. And I had a particular experience of that when we had some people who call at the door. You probably experienced this, and they're offering to do up your driveway, fix your roof or whatever. And there was some work needed to be tidied up around the house, but I had in mind a friend of mine to do it, and even discussed it with him, but not agreed with him exactly. And this person turned out when they were offering something slightly different than what my friend could do. And I have said no to, for 7 years, said no to people who come around because I don't necessarily trust them, and I don't know who they really are and whether they're ever going to do a good job. But for some reason I said yes to this person, and they did a really good job in the driveway, but it wasn't perfect. There's a few holes that weren't filled in that should have been filled in, and I was just concentrating on the imperfectedness of that imperfection of that rather than appreciating what was done. And they were touching up a little bit on a wall that had some pieces of the covering of the wall that had fallen off, and they were doing that. It was like dashing the wall, and no one else had offered to do that ever because they realized it couldn't be done perfectly. But this person, I don't think, really cared, and so they did a job that was definitely imperfect on the wall. And I was looking at it for days afterwards, kicking myself. Why did I agree to this person? And and giving myself a hard time because looking at imperfection was so hard for me. And I love just accepting the imperfection, especially of feelings. Sometimes I think, well, at this stage of my life, with all the inner work that I have done, everything that I've studied and tried to integrate, then, there shouldn't be all these frustrations, disappointments, and even anger at times, and upset. And what I realize now is really that's all perfect. It seems imperfect. It seems like, the spiritual path should be this place where you've got to have a stage of peace and tranquility and everything's just wonderful. But it really isn't like that in my experience anyway. And if you've reached that stage, just let me know. But I've realized now that I've given up striving to reach that perfect, ideal, spiritual achievement, and really just being present to the imperfection of the moment, whatever form that appears in, whether it's within myself, my feelings, my lack of motivation, and just accepting that. And I think that's the kindest thing I can do for myself and for other people. So that's the gift I'm giving to you just right now. Maybe just realize how unaccepting you are of your imperfections. And go, well, really, do I want to strive to be different? What is it in this moment that I could accept and open up to? And I think that's what really love is. Love is just being present to what's here right now in its imperfections. To love the imperfections, and maybe that's love. Thank you.